in the mix with DJ 𝐂𝐲
So seductive. I take you to the candy shop. I let you lick the lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa.
I'll take you to the candy shop.
Yeah.
Boy, want taste of what I got. I'll have you spending all you got.
Come on.
Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa.
I take you to the candy shop. I let you lick the lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa.
I'll take you to the candy shop.
Yeah.
Boy, want taste of what I got. I'll have you spending all you got.
Come on.
Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa.
So seductive. I take you to the candy shop. I let you lick the lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa.
I'll take you to the candy shop.
Yeah.
Boy, want taste of what I got. I'll have you spending all you got.
Come on.
Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa.
I take you to the candy shop. I let you lick the lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa.
I'll take you to the candy shop.
Yeah.
Boy, want taste of what I got. I'll have you spending all you got.
Come on.
Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Hate to do it. We got to start today off with some incredibly bad news. This may be the most bearish news I've ever heard in my absolute entire life. We're going to need a moment of silence here. One of the last, maybe one of the last, one of the OG, one of the greatest of all time. Rest in peace, my friend Chuck Norris passed away today. The ripe age of like 89 or something. He lived a long life. Now he's roundhouse kicking angels in heaven. 2026 truly sucks. It truly sucks. We have to, we lose Chuck Norris. Nothing good will come of this. Nothing good. We've lost one of the few pure not on the list people. Wow. Markets are not enjoying it. Markets puking their guts out over the misery, over the sadness of Chuck Norris's loss. Bitcoin down today after trading minusculely up. The FOMC has not really had that much impact, I'd say, on Bitcoin's price, but continuing the downtrend into Friday here. Today's candle looking kind of gnarly, but it's not alone. Gold and silver. Is the run over? I mean, are metals done? Did we call the top of silver at 122 and forever now? Gonna just see it sell off? I don't know. Gold and silver really losing their momentum. Man. losing their momentum here. Gold reaching back down to its range lows. Early February, 4,400 gold looking all but about to lock in a retest of that 4,400 level. Not what you want to see here. Doesn't really make sense. I think the best explanation and the best narrative logic we can use here is that gold and silver front ran this global conflict, the war in Iran, the war, the oil war, I'll call it. Front run it. I mean, we're here. Oh, here. Sinuses are going crazy today. The temperature's been flip-flopping between freezing and 70. We're back to like 65 today. My sinuses are going crazy. But clearly, front run it. Here we go. Markets again. Always. You guys make fun of me. People tune in. They're like, what is this guy talking about? He believes in mumbo jumbo. Charts know the future, guys. It is so evident to me that charts know the future. Not in some mystical way, I don't think, but just in a mathematical way. Not mystical, no magic, no wizards behind it, no crystal balls, though. That would be cool. I think they know the future via just math. I think everything is dictated by math at the end of the day. Charts know, man. I don't know. As soon as this war kicked off, as soon as gold and silver's use case came into the picture, as soon as it became, as soon as it made sense for it to pump, it's over. But it's been a hell of a pump, and it may not be over. I might be hyperbolizing. I might be overhyping it. Might be getting ahead of ourselves. 250% run on gold from the start of 22. So since the bear market bottom, basically. Currently, down about 20% from the high. You know, we could still see a very bullish gold run into the end of the year. This isn't doomed, but man, this is not the price action that you would see from an asset that just wants to blast off again, right? You can see gold had some pullbacks on the way up, but these pullbacks were short-lived, typically a day or two, and they were bought up pretty quickly. Not really what we're seeing here. I can draw some parallels. I can say maybe gold looks like October of 25. So it still could make that longer-term recovery, move to new all-time highs, etc. But man, in crypto, we just knew. I don't want to say we knew it, but we saw it. We saw it happen. We are so sensitive to this because we didn't really get this in our cycle in 2025. But the energy, the good feelings, the dopamine, the euphoria that comes along with these crazy market moves. You guys remember, and that was only in January of this year, which feels like a year ago now. People were nuts. Calling for 500 silver, 1,000 silver. 122, baby. Man, congested. Silver just it never could find bids again. Lower high back to the low. 55 on silver could be a decent entry. I mean, it's like when this all started and we saw it breaking out. I remember one of the first things we said is, you'll probably be able to re-enter silver at the previous all-time high. You just have to have patience. At this point, remember at $70 silver, about 20% right above the previous all-time high, about $50. That may be in the cards. Realistically, silver could even resolve down to 50 and then by the end of the year make new all-time highs. Realistically, it could. With this move to the upside from 50 to 122 in the course of a month, can easily see a 55% retracement and then move back up. $50 though. $50. Remember when I told everybody, I said, guys, lock in some profits today. I said, not all out, not all in. It's not how we vibe here, but just lock in some profits on gold and silver today. Bookmark this for later. People did not like that. And that is now in my memory put into the filing cabinet under signs of tops is when people suggest profit taking, not even shorting, just profit taking, and it's met with anger. I think that's a clear-cut signal that we should be looking for at least local tops, maybe market tops, but local tops easy, confidently can say that, man. People did not like this. And now that's exactly what should have happened. Boom. There we are. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Gold and silver weakness. SP 500 weakness. Lower low again. 6100 on deck. I mean, it's coming. She's coming. This rut trade, I should close it. I still like this rut trade. 2500. But I think I'm going to get shaken out of that position. That was along at the previous resistance. Rut had spent a lot of time battling that resistance. Now testing it as support. If it can hold, that's a clear SR flip. And that is a very bullish signal. They'd be looking for, I don't know, 3,100, 3,000. A significant move. If you lose 2450 in, you're back below the resistance, and you likely are just going to follow the rest of the markets into a retracement. The thing about rut though is this chart is like stronger from a building perspective. If you look at S&P and DJI, do I have DJI up? Yeah. They look a lot like this. They look like a chart in italics. Does that make sense? I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. I don't think I've ever said that. That just came to me. It's like in italics. It's like this, you know? Just goes up to the right. Sometimes, occasionally going back to previous resistances, but not really consistently. The rut is different. The rut, like this is 2020's low. September 18's high. Did get back tested. We spent a lot of time there. Didn't break in 2021. Into 2024, we didn't break the all-time high. Higher low again. Now we broke. This is much more, let's say, solid price action, like building support. Honestly, I don't know if that's a good thing though, but I don't really know if that's a good thing or long thing. Good thing or bad thing long term. I guess it could go either way. But the big point of this is they're just different. They are fundamentally different on the chart, and so maybe that's a tradable fact right there. Maybe it's hedgeable that they don't behave the same way, because the S&P and DJI seem to just behave the same way pretty much. The big chart, if I can ever get to it. Where are we? The big chart of the day. Here it is. Oily boilies. The talk of the town. On Monday, I was saying oil. This, you know, we saw this happen in metals. We saw the sell-off happen in metals. We didn't see a strong recovery. This is starting to look like it. We're still there. That's still on the table. It's on the table. I would say, though, this looks a little different. More sideways. We're seeing less selling pressure with the lower highs, right? Maybe that just hasn't flushed out yet. It is interesting, though, that oil and gold and silver made such similar moves so close together. Oil's high in March of this year. Obviously, gold and silver in like February. Sideways price. Here's how I could play this. Obviously, back here at the gap 67 on oil, U.S. oil, WTI crude. I can see this though, 82. We have actually had on many charts this trade play out. I'll put it this way. With gold and silver, we saw this whipsaw. Our daily closes gave us a low level, and we did see them come back and tap it and find support, at least briefly. They obviously haven't held, but they were good for a trade for at least a little bit of time. And where did that go? Somewhere. There we go. I think it's better on gold. Are they gold? No. No, they weren't good for a trade. Maybe I'm going to eat my words. What am I thinking then? Bitcoin? It was Bitcoin. Not gold and silver. Scratch that. It was Bitcoin. Too many charts, man. Right here. Sell off, daily close, found support. There's fundamental differences here from oil and gold, or oil and Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin on the way down. Oil flagging on the way up. But that same setup. Daily close, sideways price action. Look for support there. Maybe just trade to the top of the range. Let's see what that looks like on oil. 82, top of the range, 115. Four to 1 with your stop below the swing low here. Okay, that's not bad. I can take that. Looking for a scalp maybe Monday. If we open at the price we're at now, 93, I think you could look to play scalping positions right in the sideways range here. If you're expecting oil to flag and probably move to the upside, if you're looking for it to flag, then you're probably looking for this volatility. I think a scalper can trade this chop up and down, basically in this range from 93 to 100. I wouldn't open that though until Monday. I would wait and watch to see what happens, because Lord knows, maybe we're in a new war by Monday. Just like that. 100 top, 93 low. See what happens there. It's interesting that there's not that much movement on oil. Really close price action. This could be another case, though, of oil largely front running, just like metals did into this oil war. Largely front running move up 100%, now trading sideways at about a 50% gain. Where's the dollar? This is the stickler. Dollar, of course, for some reason rejected at 100 again. Probably going to hold a higher low. We're going to retest 100 into next week. I hate charting the Dixie. It's just, I don't know. It's just so hard. Resistance being eaten. I think this resolves up. Dollar. What else we got to look at? Copper, not finding a bottom yet. Copper broke all-time high in January. Honestly, it looks like a crypto. It's like broke all-time high with a wick and then just started selling. Not the best look. Absolutely in retracement. Already at the 0.5 retracement. Pretty advanced. Maybe $5 for support. ScanDisk. Here we go. ScanDisk long filled. This is a riskier position. I don't like to play the break and retest, but hey, a lot of you do. ScanDisk broke all-time high. Today, sold off, retested. Previous all-time high. That's 727. 1,000 might be a high target. There's absolutely a whole range of trades that could be taken here. You could look for 832 for the 141. 1618 at under 900. And you still get really solid risk to rewards. The stop is going to be harder. I think if you're playing the break and retest, you want to get out under yesterday's low. If you're just break and retest, quick play, looking for that continuation into Monday. Tight stop. A little more patient play. Maybe this gap down here. We have seen ScanDisk actually hasn't backtested this descending trend. It doesn't have to. But that may happen. And that may be the more patient entry around 640. I think they're both reasonable trades. What do you guys think? ScanDisk is probably the most bullish looking thing there is. What's up, Wick, my friend? Rest in peace, Chuck Norris, I know. It's so sad. Roundhouse kicking angels in heaven now. Misery Index. Misery Index, I mean, on Chuck Norris's death, this is now. So it's mooned. We were charting the Misery Index. I think that, safe to say, very bullish on misery here with Chuck Norris leaving us. A lot of you were looking at Tau the other day. I think when I say the other day, I want to say like Monday. Probably Monday of this week. I did say this is closer to a short than a long in my book. It's been not the best short. Basically at break even here after seeing a wick high and a wick low. So this short paid, I'd say. Target was too low, at least for now. don't love that rejection here. Like, this is looking strong. So basically the way I view this is large move, back to previous high, back to previous resistance. Profit takers, as we basically expected. That's why we're closer to a short here at resistance. Pulled back, a very light pullback, higher low. Then you broke your high. I mean, this does look set to make another move. I just don't like it. I don't like the risk reward here on this trade. Yeah, this was the entry, and if this isn't the entry, then we're not looking for it to make a bigger move, right? Anybody trading Tau? Tell me how you're doing it. Circle looks pretty good. Yes, Circle, I will admit that I doubted Circle. I expected Circle to sell off. It hasn't. It's actually held pretty well. We can look into it more. One knee toe, I'll hold you. It's all over. Let's do a poll. There we go. Little poll. By the way, guys, I haven't done it. I just always forget this stuff. Please hit the like button. Just click the like button right now. Go ahead. Do it. What are you waiting for? Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to our channel. Join us. We're live daily here. Coming up on 8 years. For 7 years. We're not going anywhere. Join us. Share out the stream. Vote in the poll. You know. All the goodies. What happens to trades if the company does a stock split, Randy? Pickle explained it. I think the answer is nothing, realistically. Like because the math, because the way the math is done, is, you know, just like an easy calculation. I don't think it really does anything different. But Pickle says you have 2 shares for every one, and they're at half the price. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Like if your stock is 100, here's how I assume it works. I don't know how it would work any other way. It's like if stock's at 100 and there's a 2-to-1 split, and now you have 2 shares of $50, it just, you know, divides it in half, right? Divides, like your entry is now 50 instead of 100. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. The one fundamental thing that does change, and I brought this up, I've never heard anyone else really talk about it, is that it messes up the chart. Charts get screwed. I think that's likely the biggest impact of all of it, especially with fractionalized shares at this point. There was a time and place where stocks didn't have readily available fractionalized shares, meaning if it was $100, you had to have $100 to trade, you know, to buy it. Couldn't buy $5 worth. But that doesn't exist anymore. At this point, everyone has access to fractionalized shares of everything. Nothing changes. Circle hasn't even traded for 200 days. Or it has. Where's its 200-day moving average? It's weird. If it's traded for 200 days, why does it not have a 200-day moving average? It should start right here. Oh, because of stocks, because they don't trade on the weekend. So it's 288 days minus all the weekends, though, right? That should be coming. That should be coming very soon. Well, we have 100. Do we have 150? All right, we have 150. How many days do we have? 180. I have this weird feeling just looking at this that the 200-day moving average is like going to start like tomorrow, like next week. 90. How did I know this? 199. 199. Did I really just mental math this? Like just by looking at this? Did I really just like mentally calculate this out that I think literally Monday will be its 200-day moving average? It's kind of cool. It's very unlikely anyone else is looking at this. When the 200-day moving average exists, I'm guessing Monday, because here's the 199. It's going to be right here. It's going to be where this 199 is. There's virtually nothing that can change that. Let's just put it right here. 120. We'll make it like a weird color. I guess white. 120. Price is above it. That's kind of interesting. How did I just really impressed myself even. You can see there is no 200-day. Then when you go to 199, it's right there. That means Monday, we'll have the 200-day moving average for Circle to be at 120. Interesting. Being above it, I think, is bullish. Open Monday below 120, not looking great. Definitely looking like $100 easy back test. Spicy. This is why I say TradFi is a scam, dude. Like, how you have 288 days of trading, yet you don't have a 200-day moving average. Because you don't have 200 days of trading. You have 199. Today's the 199th day of trading for Circle. That's crazy. If Circle opens above 120, get the 618 retracement, 150 above you. That's looking for 150. Ease peas. Let's do a clean 150. Candles are getting smaller. Momentum's slowing down. I wonder what the VWAP looks like. Of course it does. The VWAP of the entire. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna say bearish. I'm gonna go bearish. I've been undercutting and underestimating Circle this whole rally, so maybe I'm wrong again here. But something tells me, man, you had this rally in February, brought you to the 200-day moving average. Now you're moving sideways on it. And look at the friggin' VWAP. As soon as the VWAP was lost on Circle, you can see this is really cool. This is some good alpha. Lock in. As soon as the VWAP was lost on Circle, we see it start trading. We see support at the VWAP. Moves up. All-time high. Sells off. Support at the VWAP. Weak bid. Support at the VWAP. Lower high. Support at the VWAP. It's lost. As soon as the VWAP was lost on Circle, that's when it just starts shitting the bed. Here we go. Boom. VWAP lost. Broke your low. Tried again to break. Tried again to pump. Rejected from the VWAP. And there you go. It's been just down basically since. Hit it low. Rebounded to the VWAP. You already tested it. You already swept liquidity here. You're already overextended. I think 100. I'm going to stay bearish. Stay bearish. I just can't ignore that. That's crazy. Stop your shenanigans. There we go. And I always want to do more analysis on Bitcoin, but we're just always at the same price. After Bitcoin's higher high on Tuesday, right before the FOMC. Beautiful flag, man. Looked like an SOS breakout. Nope. Sell off back below resistance of the range. Rejected resistance of the range. There we are. Are we really getting pranked again? Are we going to get dunked on in the exact same fashion? At least mix up the dunks, Bitcoin. Right there. Looks like exactly the same. High, higher high. SOS at the top of the range. A little flag. Look like you want to break out. And dump next leg. Fool me once, fool me twice. 71 days. 43 days. About half the amount of time. I hope not. Maybe we're looking at the wrong fractal the whole time. Just the way you are. Doesn't fit like perfectly, but damn, that's similar. I mean, that'd be cool. I'm in. If Bitcoin wants to, in the course of 10 days, sell off another 40% and hit 40K, I mean, go for it. I don't know. Go for it. Speed run this bear market. You son of a bitch. Slow day. Everyone's so bearish during the bad times. I mean, that's how it goes. It wouldn't be the bad times if people weren't bearish. Then it would be the good times. And then it would be going down. I don't know. I mean, the reason people are so bearish is because Bitcoin fundamentally followed the 4-year cycle. Except it just didn't give us a blow off top. But it followed the 4-year cycle, topped out in Q4 of last year. And now everyone is just expecting a repeat of every Q4, 4-year cycle. Like, people right here, you know? This is what everyone's expecting. So far, it looks so similar. I guess it's because it doesn't feel like there's a catalyst on the horizon. People were really all in on Trump pumping crypto. That didn't happen. And they thought that would be the strongest, you know, most influential thing that could happen. And it just didn't do anything. It wasn't only that, but just kind of the whole space just didn't perform. And everyone got let down. Sentiment's low, and it doesn't look or feel like we're at the end of the tunnel. That's why sentiment's so low. Everyone's expecting now, you know, where are we? It's March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 7 more months of this till we hit a low, hit a bottom. You know, I don't really believe it's going to play out. Like, in my heart, I don't think it's going to play out that way. I think it's going to be different. But there's just no... There's no technical... There's nothing, like, on the chart that is kind of conflicting with that. There's nothing... There's very little hopium. That's what it is. We're lacking hopium. We're fresh out. And it also feels like every time we hit a high or we have a solid close, it is like the second it prints, it reverses. I don't know. I'm not bearish on Bitcoin in any kind of greater capacity. I'm just as bullish on Bitcoin in the big picture as I've always been. Man. Yeah, this is like just another trip around the sun, right? The 4-year cycle will obviously break at some point. And when it does, we won't know. We won't be aware of it. It'll just catch everyone off guard. And almost by definition then, it has to be something that no one sees coming. If anybody sees it coming, it's not happening. This also sucks price action wise. Yeesh. What else we got? What's up, guy? What's up, Charlie? How are you? What makes me think it'll play different? It just like a feeling, like I said, in my heart, in my gut. That's it. That is why hope is so rare, so scarce. It's like there isn't a reason. There's no, I mean, I believe in Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin's long-term future. I don't believe Bitcoin has lost any value. If anything, I think the last 5 years has been an even greater case for Bitcoin when it comes to debasing currency, when it comes to verifying information, verifying anything. It's already become really difficult to verify any information. More or less bigger than information, right? And this is where Bitcoin is. We're printing more. How many? We added another trillion to the debt. How long did that take? It was like a month. A month? I don't remember. We're just printing ourselves. Like Bitcoin's value fundamentally has only gotten stronger. And at some point that will reflect. And we can say it, well, it's reflected the whole time. Bitcoin's up from $0 to $70,000, and $70,000 is a crazy amount of money. We just have had bigger numbers in our sights, and we haven't gone to them. And this cycle was extremely low, extremely slow, and extremely, I'll say, bad for upside comparatively. So our expectations are moving with it. Oh, Benjamin Cohen, Mr. Benjamin Cohen, just tweeted this. According to markets, there's now a higher probability of a rate hike than a rate cut through June of 2027. Where did you hear that first? Tom Powell. No, we've been talking about it. It's crazy on the FOMC. Thanks for joining, by the way, guys. The Tom Powell intro speech hit every single talking point, every single one, and all of the topics and the conclusions, and like it was all then just basically regurgitated by Powell and in the questions after. I think that was the most successful homework I've done to prepare for the FOMC. Let me see. Also, actually, yeah, here we go. There we go. We're seeing the rate hike shift. That's crazy. What did we have on US 2-year? Two-year. Wasn't I just looking at 2-year? Yep. We were just looking at 2-year saying it's pricing in a hike. That's crazy. Here it is. I think me might have been some of the first people to look at that. 50 beeps from the bottom. Yeah, I tweeted that last week. Now it just continued higher. 2-year is that is not a good sign. But the 2-year is looking for higher. Someone was saying the 10-year. Who said the 10-year at the beginning of the stream? What's going on with it? Where's the 10 at? So we got 2 at almost 4%. What the hell is this? Oh, wow. It's just where it was. Oh, these are monthly candles. Here we go. Dude, this is blast off. The US 10-year is about to go nuts. This looks, I said this before, this looks like Bitcoin. This looks like Bitcoin from 2020, like the bottom of 2020, into May of 2020. You had this V-shaped recovery, huge swing low, V-shaped recovery, and then it just flagged right above previous resistance. And then Bitcoin actually, this is exactly what happened with Bitcoin. It popped up 20%, spent like a month there, came down but made a higher low, and then boom, went up to all-time high. That's exactly what Bitcoin did. This looks exactly like it. I guess we're all doomed because the 10-year rising is a terrible sign. It's terrible. Hasn't even really happened since like the 60s. Isn't that weird? I don't know if this is weird. I'm not an old head. I didn't live through this. But the highest peak of the 10-year was in 81. And it's unraveled ever since 81. For 40 years, this is unraveled. And now it's ready to pump. The 10-year is going to pump. How do we make money on that? We need to make money on this because this is going to happen. Not financial advice. It's going to happen. Gotta be green. Arrow's gotta be green. There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you know what, really? All hope is just gone because Chuck Norris died. That's why. With him, hope died. Womp, womp, womp. No, I'm kidding. It is sad, though. How do we only have 84 votes? What's happening in this stream? Dude, these streams have been quiet. World War III. 18 year, I'm assuming year, economic real estate cycle. You know, actually I do have something to say about that. Estate prices. Let me find a chart. Because I can only explain things through charts at this point. Economics US HP. It's time to make a new chart. Guys, take a second. Make sure you've liked the stream, please. Subscribe. We're about to chart some things you've never seen charted. We're about to give some alpha on things you've never seen alphaed. Probably. Oh. All right. Well, let's see. 18 years, you say. How long has it been since the high? 18 years is 18 times 12. I should be able to do that in my head. I just visually calculated 199 trading days. You'd think I'd be able to do this in my head, but I'm not going to. 216. So, previous high, March 07. 216 candles. Well, if we want to be literal with it, that would have been a year ago. Right? A year ago. So we're a year out of that, and we have a higher high. It's hard to do anything with this chart, man. Look at this. This was COVID. Blip, blip. Barely noticeable. 21% correction from 07 to 21. Took 5 years. Where would a 20% correction bring us? I want to see if I find a different ticker. Maybe single family home prices. USS FHP. Okay. This is a little more interesting looking. When do these spike? They spike in June? June? Looks like June every year is the spike in single family home prices. And then the low is January, start of the year. Okay. Today I learned. Nothing there. Dude, this is crazy. From 2012 to the high of this year, 200%. That's not that bad. 7 years, 200%. I don't understand. So something doesn't fit here, like logically in my brain. It doesn't fit to like my experience. And a lot of time when that happens, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with the data. Oh, obviously, sometimes I'm wrong. Never. Sometimes. True that housing has increased in price, probably our whole lives. We did have a small period in 2005 until 2012, 7 years, where it retraced 30-ish%, about a third. It is up 200% since that low in 2011. But where this doesn't feel reflected, I guess somewhere here we have a linear path of price increase, which is probably what you'd expect in housing, right? Linear increase. There it is. Putting it on normal makes it look a little better. What didn't match up with my expectations, because from 2020 until today, at least around me, every single home, and I've been looking, you guys know, I've been looking at Zillow constantly because I had to find a new place. I did. And I've been looking at homes to buy, and I've been looking at the price history. And virtually every single home that wasn't a new construction in this time period doubled more than doubled in price from 2019-ish to today. More than doubled. And then here it's saying 62%. I understand that this is an index and, you know, averaged, and where I live, you know, is not, where I live isn't perfectly reflective of the entire market. It still doesn't feel quite right. It's a little better. But we see a linear increase basically from the low to 2020. After 2020, and this is more what I expected, we see, I'll call this like a logarithmic increase, an exponential increase that peaked out in 2020 at the bear market low, which is not expected. That logarithmic increase has since stopped, and we're back to a linear increase. We have, for the first time, this is big. So here's, nope, not big. I was going to say for the first time that I can see on this chart in at least decades, I was going to say we had a lower low in January of this year, but we did not. It was slightly higher. Virtually every other year before, we saw the lows come up meaningfully, very almost predictably. Before, that seems to hold pretty true. There's almost no year-over-year lower lows until 2005, where we got one in 2006. We failed, so we had a lower low, we failed to break the high, and boom, we rolled over. Here's what I've been looking for this year. If we break the low, which we're very close to, let's say we get some bad numbers, I don't know, March, April. Break the low, and then into the end of the year, into June, May, June. Oh, wow. So these numbers would have to be February. It'd have to be March or April or May. So in the next 3 months is what we're going to look for. If we do not get good readings and we see this roll down into a May, June, we're going to look for a rally. If that rally fails to break last year's high, we're probably going to see this roll over. So far, it's okay. It's slightly higher. Can I put alerts? No, of course I can't. Can I? Can I draw a horizontal line? Nah, I can't add alerts to this chart. Of course you can't. But an 18-year cycle. I know, that was a long... It was a long time to come back to the question. 15 bars, 16 bars, 17 bars, 18 bars. Okay, so to answer the question, 18-year cycle, the tops don't align. It would have been last year, right? That would have been... Actually, it would have been 23 from high to high. That's... would have been the high. We still have 3 higher highs. But from the low to the low, 18-year cycle, we're going to look at 2029. 2029. The stream just started playing that. Confused me. 2029 low. If we have the same pullback, it'd be a 33% pullback. These numbers. Oh, this is the median cost for a house. That's kind of cool. 271K from 400. Interesting. Interesting stuff, and that gives us kind of short-term things to look for. Very average bull run the next 4 years. Well, that's what we got in crypto. Less than average. Very underwhelming. Underwhelming. You built your home in 2012 for $265K. Today it's priced at $915. There you go. I mean that's almost a 4x increase. It's like 3 and change. that's higher than the average. You did well. What's up, my guy Sharknado? How are you, man? I think you're the longest running member of this channel. Your house doubled in California since 2017. That's what I'm saying. Everything I've seen has shown doubling. And, you know, I'll look closer as time goes on, too. But my mind sees, like, late 19, like 19 or 20. And then into, it goes like 19 or 20, and then into like 21 and 22, it like doubles in like a year or two. And then they're kind of stagnant since. It didn't really reflect it. I would have expected to see a bigger move in the 2020s. I don't know. I have found the place to live, my friend. Thank you. Yes. Start moving in Tuesday next week. Asant talking about releasing Iranian and Russian oil. Releasing what? What do you mean by releasing? Metaverse closing is a real sign of the times, dude. That's crazy. I will give myself credit. You know, I don't gloat that often. I'll give myself credit. All of like the metaverse shit, like the games and like these like little VR places and like was all wrapped up in NFT land, even Web3 in general. And I just the whole time was like, this is all nothing. This is all fluff. It's all worthless crap. Never bought any of it. Brent 150. Easy. Ugh. Wait, what? What is the Brent oil ticker? I'm looking at regular, just oil. 95. Brent's higher. This looks more bullish than oil, than the oil chart we're looking at. Much more bullish. This is what I was expecting on the sell-offs for gold and silver. That's what I was expecting to see. Not what we saw. 150 is a great target. 150 is just a perfect target. I guess perfect target is 134. Previous all-time high. But 150. Yup. Maybe higher. Maybe higher. Good game. Wrap it up. Let's see, did you pickle reply? New articles. Okay. Like they'll be allowed to ship it. They've always been allowed to ship it. By whom? Release sanctions. What does that even mean? What? I see why you posted. What does that even mean? May remove sanctions on oil stranded. What? What? I don't think the sanctions were what's holding it up, buddy. I don't think that's your problem, man. Let me see. U.S. considers measures to boost supplies. This is what happens when you go to war with a semblance of a plan. Just like the healthcare plan that we don't have. Nothing about Besant. Insider trading. There's a tab on insider trading here. That's funny. Is like politics, maybe? God. No. I can't find it for some reason. Commodities. Thousands of additional troops to Middle East. Man, whenever you guys notice, and this is, this isn't Trump. This is all the government I've ever seen in my entire life. You guys ever notice how every administration, no matter what, when it comes to things that help us, healthcare, I don't know, worker protections, unions, benefits, social programs, building infrastructure, public anything, whenever it comes to literally spending any pennies on directly helping people, there's never any money for it. Where's the money gonna come from? Where's the money gonna come from? Oh, you're just gonna print it out of nowhere. Where's the money gonna come from? And then anytime it has to do, honestly, with anything else, there's just no questions asked. Print it. 200 billion for the war right now. Go ahead, yeah, just write that check. How many billions have you already spent? Who knows? Write a big check. But if it's like even a penny of it is going to like help us or improve our lives, nope, we can't afford it. Sorry, we're broke. It's insane. Like it's a meme. It's our money. We're the ones paying the taxes, and it's used for just anything other than us. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Here's what I think. You can go ahead and print the money for the wars and stuff too. That's fine. But then also just print it for shit like for us. Do both. Do both. Why can't you just do both? It's not even a joke. I can't even say it's a joke because that implies there's some like lightheartedness and like kind of positive to it. How is this America? America is not what I learned it was growing up. Hopefully someday we can be, or get back to it. I don't know if we ever were. Literally anything that helps us. Where's the money gonna come from? How about from all the shit we don't need? Oh my god. Charlie, things are terrible. Things are pretty terrible right now in the U.S. Not gonna lie. It's not new, but it's new. Like in the last like decade, we have just been like, psh, kaboom. It's insane. Logarithmic. Okay. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐭. Got the word logarithmically in your comment. You know I'm in. Dow Jones Industrial. 1953 66 cycle are mirror of Bitcoin cycle highs. Proven by DJI. Now you're getting ahead of yourself, my friend. Now you're taking what can be like an observable and really solid, intelligent point, and you're putting it up. You're burning it a little bit. Nothing is proven. I'll look at this. 53 to 66. God damn it. Oh wait, 1987. 53. 66. Looks exactly like Bitcoin. Like this. You're on the month, I'm on the month. I think it's gonna end like this. I would not say it looks exactly like that. I'll pull them up. This is my first impression, first take. Something we should accept, as we even look into this, is that cycles tops, no matter what the asset, probably are going to look somewhat similar. And so same with bottoms, like fundamentally. There is like behavior in price for bottoms and tops. But let's look at this more closely. So 66. I'm not seeing it. Like here? Here? You're saying that the top 66 Bitcoin would be topped of the Bitcoin highs. Are you saying like this? This, maybe this? Kind of like this high pullback high? High pullback high? I can't say that I totally see it. We'd be in April of 66 hypothetically, thank you. Three lows. Okay. And I'm willing to look. I like charts. I like looking at this stuff. It's 3 lows. Bitcoin 15 lows. Coinbase lows. I gotta disagree. So here's where I would look for, this is like where I disagree with. From 60 to 62, you had this cycle high or rolling over to a low. Where would this have been? That would be like if in 21 this broke, 22 or 18's low. That's like structurally, important. At 66, I guess the 4-year cycle. So from the low to the high. So like I can see here, I can agree with you and say that that is similar. Yeah, I see similarities here, like right here, like right here. Right here. So then you would expect the lower low, lower high, maybe even like close to double top to play out. You'd expect like this. And of course like this on the way up. And then down lower. I mean, I think that it's not a terrible bet to be looking for a retracement, an upside move that does sell off and does go lower. I don't think, here's what I'll say, is I can see some similarities, but I don't think it's enough to draw like a conclusion to say like I don't think they're identical. I don't think they're mirrored. I don't think it's enough to like draw a conclusion and say this is like definitely what Bitcoin's going to look like. Bitcoin could end up looking like that, but I just don't see it. It's just not tight enough for me. That's just my opinion. I do appreciate you bringing it to me, though. I love looking at nerdy chart stuff when you guys bring it to me. I'm all about it. Speaking of DJI, fill us, baby. You guys think 45 is going to hold? I kind of don't. The timing is really interesting, though. DJI is looking to test previous resistance at like the same time SPX, I think, is going to be looking to test previous resistance, previous high. Rut's already there, but this chart isn't the same. Look for oil. Yeah, I've been looking at oil. I like Brent oil's chart better. This is so much more bullish. Like, this is what we didn't get. And what we could kind of infer from this, though, is, okay, well, U.S. oil or whatever, the other ticker is kind of like right here. Let's show them side by side. Yeah. That actually is pretty close. There we go. Like these are, you put these side to side and this is actually kind of cool. Like you're right here when these are side to side. I wonder what's going on. Like, do you guys see this? Like you even have this kind of similar weird like head and shoulders-y thing going on in this sideways movement on US oil. You see it on Brent right here, and then Brent broke to the upside, retested high, higher low. I mean, is that the play? I don't know why they wouldn't be trading, like pegged. I don't know why they would look different. And yeah, these are really simple. This is more similar than what we just looked at. Just playing with you. You have like the high of the range that sells off. You get like almost like this M shape with a higher low, and then you're up. Look, high of the range, and you have like almost that M shape. Let's see what this would look like. like that. No, because this needs to be higher. Well, this bar pattern doesn't fit perfectly either. But they are hella similar. Maybe this is a good long. Maybe we got a good long on the oil. Back to the high. What's up, Quicker? How you doing, man? Yeah. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Terrible. Do they need 60% to approve the $200 billion for military? I don't know, man. You'd think I would know this. I was a poli-sci major, a poli-sci bachelor's degree. But when they need like a simple majority and 60%, I forget. God, college years so long ago. Usually WTI is moving in front of Brent. Interesting. Interesting, because right now it damn looks like Brent's moving ahead of WTI. These are spooky. They're spookies. Micron a few days ago, Bones? I do not remember, but I believe. Micron? I don't remember. You have to. People ask me to look at charts all the time, so I do not remember a lot of the time. You can open it. What's it doing? NASDAQ MU? Micron. I see all-time highs, baby. Choo-choo. Okay. What is Micron? It sounds like one of those that I probably should know or do know and don't know. It's like, don't know off the top of my head. Logarithmic. Non-log. Ooh, non-log. You got yourself a big old boner there. Logarithmic looks much more reasonable. May of last year, 63, almost 10x. You are really extended. You're very extended. Very extended, and you're very near psychological value of 500. I think 500, very reasonable upside. It's about a 20% move from where it is. It probably would have been, looking back at the cycle, right here. Right here would have been probably a pretty successful time to have a meetup, and also here, and virtually no other time. That's my opinion. Right here, it's like March 24, and then end of 24. I really don't think that and it comes down to not just interest. Again, it comes down to like cost. People take off work. It's an investment. And I don't think people right now are going to invest in that way. Certainly some people would come, no matter what. I'm sure there's definitely people who'd show up. But to have a big event, we're gonna have to wait for a higher sentiment time. I appreciate you, Randy. December 24 would have been. Oh, okay. Limit LMTS is crypto. That's why I didn't. That's the exact reason it didn't pop up. Limitless. I hate the name already. I'll start there. Hate the name. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Sure. Yeah. There you go. Trading can be this simple sometimes. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Hold the low. I really would actually have a tighter stop and then potentially like reopen here, but there you go. Higher high, 27. There you go. Easy. Not a lot of chart history. Who knows what the hell this is? I don't. But, you want to make a really basic trade thesis. Here you go. You have your all-time low. You have broken a high here, so you have your higher high. You have a higher low. You have a higher high. And now, there you are. Retraced almost the entire move. Boom. Stop below. Target, just a higher high again, 28 cents. It's Chris here. There he is. We were ready to party at the end of 24, and a lot of people were. Dude's 21. Oh my god. In 21, dude, right here. This was it. This was the era, bro. That was the era. Even back here, I would say the excitement wasn't there, but like this was the era. Right here. I'll even cut off some of that price action right here. Between November of 20 and March of 21, this was it. Like, that's when I was going to conferences and like people were recognizing me everywhere, and like people wanted me on panels for everything, and they wanted to like fly people out for everything, and it just all went away. It's because it never returned. We just never had that inflow. This is where like Bitcoin conference was in Miami, and the entire city was just plastered in Bitcoin stuff. Like every taxi, like everywhere, everything was a Bitcoin flyer. They were buying out all the tables at all the clubs all over Miami. That's crazy. Huge mansion parties. Like that was it. That was the time. I think those times will return. I don't know when they'll be here, but I mean, hell, they could be here next year. Who knows? Has not recovered though. Double top peak would wreck everybody. Honestly, I think the thing that would catch the most people off guard, that would put the fewest people on the right side of the trade, would be all-time highs. Would be we break down from here, we trade under 60, and then we just one-shot it up. Because people in this scenario, people will short every single move up. They'll short 81, or yeah, they'll short 81. They'll probably short 93.3 at the early open. They'll short up here 98 at January's high. They'll short 106 because that's like the 0.618 retracement. They'll short the high looking for the double top. I think if this were to happen, very few longs would open and a lot of shorts would open. And I think virtually the entire market is short here now anyway. I think that is the ultimate offsides. Also because there's no reason, there's no history, there's nothing for this move. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but like there's nothing for this move. Doesn't fit into the 4-year cycle in any way. It would totally break that. We're all 100% convinced the 4-year cycle is still in play. No one is looking for all-time highs at this point until after Q4 of this year. They're looking for a swing low, a cycle low in like October, and then they'll be looking up. If it were to just teleport style the way it used to up, there'd be so few people on sides. Pretty much just spot positions would be on sides. Everybody would just keep opening shorts. Actually, here you go. Here would be the most painful. All right. Tap. Teleport. Gap up, right? New all-time high. Wick. And then back down. I think. I think. Because then everybody would long and then it just go down. What can we do? Did I look at Tau? I don't think oh yeah, I did look at Tau. Where's MicroStrategy at? In the shitter, but we're here. We've been through the shitter before, you know? MicroStrategy 151. 170 might be getting farther away from us here, but still a hell of a call from 100 to 170. Even 100 to 150 is a crazy call. Sponsors fleeing Dubai. Dubai, bye, bye. I loved Dubai when I was there, though. Be real. I loved it. It was beautiful. There won't be an era like 2021. Maybe in 100 years? I don't know about that. The one thing that this market has taught me is that you can just, you making statements of things will never or always happen seem to always be wrong, except for like that statement, except for the validity of it. Like anytime anyone's ever said, I feel like, that this will never happen or this will always happen, it's always been wrong. It's almost as if that's like what markets go for. I mean, it is totally possible that Bitcoin follows a 4-year cycle. We see a low in October. We climb back up like we do every single freaking cycle. And then the next cycle just gives us a blast off. You know, diminishing returns is thrown out the window and we have a bigger return. And then all of a sudden the script is flipped. People are, you know, looking the other way. I wouldn't underrate it. I wouldn't sleep on Bitcoin. You never know, man. Bless you, Lana. You've been DCing Sol for 6 months. Good luck. I always never do that. Perfect. I haven't really messed with prediction markets yet, no. Bitcoin will never go to 1 million. Exactly, Randy. It will never go to 1 million. So don't even think about it. Bitcoin, you heard me. Never. Yep. Not going to happen. Never. Perfect. Perfect. Boys and girls, it's Friday. It's a chillin', slow day. Markets aren't really moving. Chuck Norris's passing is the biggest news. This Brent oil alpha here. This I wouldn't sleep on. I might trade this. Not much else is moving. Pretty much everything's down. But it's the weekend. Yeah. Yeah, weekend. Go have some fun with it. Chirpow is speaking tomorrow. I'm not going to cover it because he's just accepting. It's going to be a pre-recorded acceptance of something. Chair Atkins on Tuesday of next week. Maybe we'll cover that. Unemployment coming up on Thursday. Wait, daylight savings time shift. Do you guys do daylight savings? You're crazy. Why would you do that? No one should do that. Hopefully it's a quiet weekend and no more of our heroes pass. I appreciate you all tuning in. Please make sure you've hit the like and subscribe on the channel. join our Discord. If you're not in it yet, join it. Don't sleep on it. It's free. People are chatting there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from all different parts of the world. It's a really good time. I'm in there as well chatting too. Sign up with our exchange partners, Femex, in the video description below. No KYC, bonuses. I will always help you out. If you need any assistance on the exchange, if anything weird happens, reach out. If you use my link anyway. Help support the stream. Keeps the lights on. We're going to be live again Monday at the latest, maybe earlier if something spicy happens. But I think it's a great time to just call it for the day. Appreciate you guys. Love you all for tuning in. Be good to each other and your